Hey everybody, welcome into This Week in Clark County, Washington Real Estate. I'm your host, Eric Sawyer from the Elevate Real Estate Group, powered by Windermere Northwest Living. Every week we're going to take a look at some statistics brought to you by the local RMLS. And we're going to take a look at those week over week so that we can consistently get an idea of what's happening in the market. We're going to tell you a little bit about the why behind some of the numbers as well, so that it's not just a bunch of numbers and data being thrown at you, but a little bit about why it's important and why you should care. So let's dive right in right now. Let's start with this chart right here from the courtesy of RMLS, and starting in the upper left with new listings. They're down slightly for the week, but only slightly at 0.8%. Overall, the number of listings is still sitting right around 2 months worth of inventory, which is less than the 5 to 6 months that would be ideal in a perfectly healthy real estate market. Pending sales are up 4.6%. Why? Well, because of the first few days of March, call it the first 10 days or so of March, new listings were up 25%, which brought on a fair amount of homes and new listings into the market. So pending sales naturally are up. So what does that mean for closed sales? Well, as you can see, closed sales are down about 4.8%, but that doesn't make sense, right? Well, it does a little bit. It's a lagging indicator at this point. Closed sales is a lagging indicator, and I expect to see those numbers come up in the next week or two as everything starts to catch up from those pending sales happening as they did. Days on market is up 29.3%, sitting at 53 days. So what does that mean? That seems like a lot for a pretty active seller's market, doesn't it? Well, that number is very misleading because it takes into account new construction homes that aren't quite finished yet, that aren't getting offers necessarily on them. So those homes are skewing the days on market numbers in the wrong direction. The bottom line here, as I've talked to a ton of agents over the last couple of weeks and done a lot of research myself, is just simply this. If a house is priced correctly in our current market right now, the chances of it going pending the first weekend of being listed is pretty darn good. We're seeing that happen a lot. And in some cases, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers as well. So if you price it correctly, you're going to see movement on that property. There's just no getting around that. Now, because of the limited inventory that we keep talking about, the homes that are selling for more, not a lot more, but slightly more, up 2.2% from the previous week to an average of 571.5. How about mortgage interest rates? Let's talk about those real quick. Now, keep in mind, mortgage interest rates, this is a generic quote. This is not something meant to be a permanent, perfect quote. Every situation is different based on the borrower, based on their qualifications, based on the type of loan, and based on the lender that they're working with as well. So just take this as a general rule. Mortgage rates are sitting around that 7% range generically. VA sitting around 6.25%, and FHA sitting around 6.5%. Again, those could be up or down slightly depending on your exact situation and qualifications. How about average rent in Clark County? Well, thanks to our friends at WFG and Altos, we can tell you that the current average rent in Clark County, Washington is $2,395 a month. Ouch, that's a lot of money to rent a house. That means you should buy, right? It does mean you should buy. As long as you can afford the payment, now is a fantastic to buy. A little less pressure in the market because the rates are still sitting around that 7% range. And what that means to you as a buyer is less competition for the homes that you're trying to pursue. Less competition means less of a chance for multiple offers, which means less of a chance of a house getting bid up. If you sit down with a pencil and a paper and a calculator with your agent or your mortgage lender and you start to do some math, you figure out pretty quickly those higher interest rates, as long as you can afford them, are going to provide you a little coverage when it comes to competition, giving you a better chance to compete and buy that house now. And although you're paying a little bit more in interest, the math will show you that in most cases, it's advantageous to buy now in this market. So if you can do it, I suggest you take a stab at it. Thanks for watching, everybody, This Week in Real Estate. If you liked it, please subscribe, pass along. Make sure you forward to somebody that you know that's in the buying and selling universe. All we're trying to do at the Elevate Real Estate Group is to help by educating and putting you in a better position to win. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.